That's live, that's live. Thinking about going live. We'll put the ink. Hi everyone, I think we're live, so hopefully we're live. So tonight I'm going to try something quite different. This is part of my coursework for a degree in fine drawing, stroke drawing. And what I've been asked to do is to do a drawing of a room that I'm... No, are we live? Right, we're live. Hi everyone, second time intro. So tonight I'm going to be doing a bit of drawing with difference. On my course that I'm doing for a degree, I'm having to do things that I would not normally even go near. Seriously, I wouldn't normally even try this sort of thing. And for this I have to draw a room, but doing it in a found material, so like a stick, charcoal-ish kind of thing, even drawing in sand, using water, all sorts. So it's kind of mixed media. But I have to relate something in the room. Now, I've picked my study. And in here we've got glass, yeah, lots of glass, including glasses, and wood. So my first thought was I'll go and grab a stick from the garden and scratch. And I thought, no, that's too easy. On a degree course they want you to use your noggin and have a weeny bit of a think and step outside that box. I should be going that way because it's like time warp, and step to the left. So they want you to think about the different marks that you can make with different materials. So in this case, I thought, glass. Now, luckily I had a day off and I went down to my local beach, which is like a 10-minute walk away. It's only a small teeny weeny beach. It's right next to a boatyard, so there's lots of oil and muck. So it's not what you call a pleasure beach. And there's a sewage pipe that runs straight down the middle, though I don't think that works most of the time. It's like an overflow pipe. And because the youngsters get down there, they smash bottles, they smash all sorts. You have to be a little bit more careful where you walk. But there's always a chance of finding what they call sea glass. And sea glass is not just a broken bottle piece. It's where it's been tumbled constantly by the sea and you get a beautiful smooth edge to it. So I got myself a piece, and I was collecting some for a friend anyway who does sea glass jewellery. So I got some, I just and you'll notice it's a funny colour. This is partly because I've already been experimenting with this. So what do I use for ink? I first thought, let's try acrylic. And acrylic is meant to be easy. I don't know why, but I cannot get on with acrylic. So instead I'm trying the Kandar Dalen Winey drawing ink, Indian black, that money. So this one is a fast drying ink, but it's not as fast as the calligraphy ink. The calligraphy ink that I have, I've only got in blue right now. I seriously can't spend this much money on art materials. So the one that I've got for calligraphy is a Winsor & Newton one. Hopefully, I have no idea if this is coming up on the camera. That one is really fast drying, which can be annoying, especially if you're trying to do brushwork with it. The black one is a little bit more looser, but I tend to kind of water it down a bit. Now with Indian ink and any old ink, always give it a darn good shake, because if it's got kind of mica stuff in it, which some of them do have, or solid matter, then it all gathers at the bottom and you end up with layers. And if it's cold weather, you will see the ink separate. It's quite funny. So the sheet that you can see on the main camera here, that is literally my experimentations. So I've taken my piece of glass, diamond shape, well that had to be fancy, and I've literally just dragged it along the paper. I've splodged it on the paper, I've dipped it on the paper, I've squiggled it on the paper. I've done lots of different marks and movements. Up here you can probably see the areas where I've actually managed to get a gradient, well not exactly a gradient, but a thick point through to a thin point. Actually that's quite, yeah, it's quite chunky. I put down a lot of ink on that bit. And then where I've pushed the glass just into the paper, And this is all to show that I've looked at what marks I can physically make with a piece of glass. And this piece of glass has got knobbly bits and beveled bits on it, so it's not a true straight line. So there's kind of a little dash line going through the middle, and that's literally where I was just rocking the glass over in a little motion. So I've got to draw my study with this as some ink. It's scary at first, but it's doable. Now, what I've got in my little pot is some of the ink, and it's one of my very old brushes, click-through brush, and a little bit of water. Now, I reckon there's probably enough in there, but what I'm going to do is just give it 2 spritz of water, just normal everyday bog standard water from the tap. Have a nice day. And that is literally to loosen it. Now, this ink I've had out for the whole day. I started doing this at 4 in the morning and it's now, well, we're about 8, half 8 at night. So little spritz of water just kept that loose enough. And if I get this on my hands, which yes I will, I've got to get to the door handle yet, then it will wash out with a lot of soap. I've got some kitchen towel over there, I've got a whoops mat over here, and that's really all I need. So this is my sketchbook, which I'm doing a lot of my work within. I won't do neat work in here. Sorry, gosh, that's bumpy. It's quite bumpy because it's quite gritty, definitely a gritty ink. So this is where I do my rough workings out. Nothing woohoo or fantastic in here. It's just quite raw work, and that's difficult for me because normally I don't do workout work. I just go straight in, straight for the drawing, and I go in and enjoy it. And this book, what a great big thing, is I got these half price. I like bargain shopping art stuff. It's a bit of a funny one. Sugar. Yeah, that nearly ended well. It's a Savine A3. And it's cartridge paper. And it's only 130, so it's not a great book. But for rough work it will do. And it's wire bound, and it's more landscape than it is portrait, which is perfect for me. You don't get many of the books with the spine on this side, so it's very handy for coursework. I'm being beaten by it right now, so let's spin that over. Right. Let's just make sure that's lined up. Right, so I've got more than one way that I can do this. So I can put the glass to the ink, and because I haven't got much ink there, it would probably have to go into the brush. Or I can take the brush to the glass, which is probably going to be a mix of two. So, my room, God, 9 by 9 and crammed full of stuff. So, the thing with ink is, you have to make your marks and be confident with them, and in truth, I is not confident. So I'm not confident with the marks that I make, and that does sometimes show. So it's going to be, this is for a trial method, it is going to be sketchy. So if I'm in the corner, like little Jack Corner, okay, I've got to, well, let's do this at a particular angle. It's probably going to be easier. So straight line. Also, what I have noticed is it's really nice and easy to draw straight lines with glass. I am contemplating getting a dip pen. So one of those inky dip pen things. Yeah, this is going to be very rough. Okay. But I want to use the whole of the paper. So, just want that at an angle. Let's take that up to there. So I've got to work this out now. Yeah, I do want to get a glass dip pen. It's a funny texture. The whole thing is just really weird texture. It doesn't scrape the paper, but it doesn't it doesn't move smoothly. The ink certainly goes quite a way. So I can make lighter marks and darker marks, and I can drag the ink out. Okay, just got to check and think. Yep, we're cool. We're cool. So then I have to look up a lot because I've got to pay attention to what exactly I'm working on. And the truth, I'm not entirely sure. That wall goes backwards. Okay, that wall is not going backwards in this case. Just remembering what angles are going where. Windowsill. So where I've put a lot of ink, I can, while that's still just a little bit wet, I can drag that back out a little bit. So I've got my rough design, or rough layout. I just need to put in some detail. So see if I'm doing the wall there, because I haven't got anything really on this wall. So I'll probably have to do the drawing of the room from a different angle. Well, apart from a light switch. Just want a slightly thicker line here. It's almost as if the door's slightly open. Okay, slightly too thick. You can see straight away that glass is dried. The glass is dried. The ink is dried. It's been a long day at work. Let's try this a different way. So I'm just going to scrape the ink across. This paper probably isn't the best type cartridge paper for doing this. Kind of know what I'm after. Kind of what I'm after. Just check that. So I need to pull that line slightly darker as well. See, the glass is catching on. I'll get my words out in a second. Honestly, ink is catching on certain parts of the glass and pooling there. Try and get this door frame put in. I still prefer just to use a plain pencil or a plain pen. I did not really do this experimentation work stuff. But if I want to pass this degree, I've got to experiment and try all these different techniques, as well as look at other artists who do use them. Though I'm still not a fan of Tracy Emin. I think she is disturbed mentally, honestly. And Louise Bourgers, something. Yeah, there's only so many drawings of male genitals I can look at in a day, in all honesty. It's not even that refined. I mean, geez, if you're going to draw some anatomy, do a good job. Make it understandable, make it relevant. But just drawing genitals in general, genitals, is not engaging or interesting in the least. And once you've seen one pair, you've seen them all. So that's part of, if you're going to do a higher education course, just be prepared to be well and truly chucked out of your comfort zone. And you're going to have to look at things that you don't maybe agree with in more than one area. So you look at contemporary artists and art where religions come into it, art where psychology has gone out the window, and some of it you're going to turn around and think, oh my god, why am I even wanting to look at this? And in a sense, I think that's what they want out of these courses, is you've got to look at it and analyse it and come away saying, wow, I couldn't stand this stuff, but at the end of the day I can relate to it, and I thought the artist did this and this nice. So there's always you've got to find the positive out of the negative. I am so not drawing all of my books. I've got directly in front of me, I've got a reference library from animal anatomy through to human anatomy through to dinosaurs, plants, pretty much everything I need. And next to that there's some skulls and things, not real ones, I'm not that into that kind of thing, but I've got some replica skulls. And that helps with the drawing. will put a couple of the figurines up here. I'm trying not to touch the paper because even though I know the ink's going to be mostly dry, I don't quite trust it. A couple of little figurines that I've got there. I've got a Aladar, a Gorgosaurus, wooden horse, wooden giraffe, and a human skull and neck. It's a kind of doctor's skull thing. I was wearing a beret. I'm going to use a side bit here. So I'm hoping it'll work. Yeah, it's come out better than I thought it would. So I'll make a few marks to indicate the book's in there. And now I am really going to get covered in ink. I've got about 200 books in my bookcase, give or take. I am a bit of a bookworm. Kind of the marks I want. There's a mark. I do have a wooden laminate floor, so I can probably work in the floor marks. Being a bit more aggressive. Grrr. I'm as aggressive as a guppy. Oh boy. Actually no, that's gonna be useful. It's wet enough to pick it up. I'm kind of smudging the glass a little bit. I think I've torn the paper up there a little bit. No fun. This line here has got to be a lot darker because there's like a recess there. A little, it kind of dips inward, but I need that to come from the top. Go and get some red clay and do a drawing with red clay or something. Using a slightly different side of the glass. Certainly really nice and easy to get a nice straight line. That's more the effect I'm after. Yay! It's more hatching line. That's kind of more what I'm after. So when I do this properly, I'll probably use some watercolour paper, and that should be able to take the roughness of the glass and make gloves. We'll think about the gloves. I certainly feel like I've got control over the pressure with the glass. I forgot to put in a feature. Little tiny table. And I need to put a radiator, the beginning of a radiator on. Wondering how light I can get this. Because really I need the reflection in there, don't I? A little bit heavy there, but I think I can live with that. quite literally, light bulb. Light shade there, and my ceiling's got that I don't know, is it Artex? That dottiness. I'll just chuck a bit of texture in there, and I think I need a little bit of shadow somehow in here without being too strong. And just need to add in a little bit of detail to the blind. My door, I should really put in the little woody bits. I need to define the bookcase slightly. Let's put that bit of glass over there and step back and look at it. So actually, for an attempt for drawing with glass, I'm quite happy with that. I certainly feel a bit happier with holding the glass, even though, yeah, inky fingers. And I've got the features that I wanted. I've got my bookcase, a couple of little ornaments on there, the mirror, the reflection in the mirror, the table, the door, the blank wall, the spotties, and a bit of texture to the wooden floor. So I think that's a fairly not bad practice for a first time. And then what will happen is I'll let that dry, and I haven't actually got my sheet on what I'm meant to do, it's somewhere else. And then I'll do a neat version of maybe a different angle of the room, so looking at the glass cabinet, maybe taking in the tapestry piece that I've got behind me, taking all that sort of thing into consideration to make it look a bit more interesting. And I'll probably have to change the angle, so instead of being straight on, come in from a corner, or from up above, down below. And by doing multiples of the same drawing, technically, from different points of view, it's showing that I'm trying to concentrate and pick up the detail, but also to study and understand the subject. And then I've got the monotonous job of writing up the whole lot, and writing up my findings. Luckily I started this morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I can write something up about this. I can write about the texture. How did it go through? It didn't go through actually, for a change. And I can say what I like, what I don't like, what I want to improve, what I don't want to improve. It's a huge difference between using a pencil, definitely, and using a piece of glass. But if you're near the seashore, or if you see somebody selling some sea glass, then see if you can find a piece that just fits comfortably. Don't, whatever you do not use fresh glass. That's sharp, that's nasty, that's ouch. That's A&E all in one way. And I have a piece of glass embedded in my hand, so I can comfortably say it is not fun, people. So when you're going out looking for your sea glass, make sure it's got smooth, nice soft edges, so she's covering herself in ink, and it's just gentle, and it should feel light. I don't know why, but it always feels nice and light. So that was a piece of onyx now. This I will actually put under the tap with a little bit of hand soap. It won't clean it back to clear glass or foggy glass, but it will get rid of any trace on there, so I can then come through with some blue ink and try again with a different ink. Quite tempted to try it in coloured inks, and I've got some Spectrum Noir inks, some reef. What are they? I've got some Spectrum Noir aqua tints. Now, these I got majorly discounted. I only paid £10, and they normally sell about 24, so I've never used them yet. I just saw them on offer and thought, God, I've got to have them. So they come with brushes, pipettes, and they come in rubber things. I've got a set of metallics of these, but I think these are going to need some serious shaking. These are very, very heavy dye, so if I get this in my clothes, I am in trouble. So I suppose I could try it with that. Have a play. And I'll have to watch a few tutorials on the best way to handle them. But I've got 2 tubs of those. I've got the perfect primers and yeah, the metallics. Yeah. Tidy studio is a good studio, except when you're working with dirt. Right, so that's going to be it, I reckon, for tonight. Thank you very much for popping along and seeing what's up and what's going up. And if you are thinking of taking higher education, just like I say, be prepared to do different things that you are not used to doing. And so hopefully I'll catch you next time, and I should be doing like the big proper drawing. Hopefully, if I have time. Might be this weekend, might be next week. Who knows? So, and I apologise to you guys for the fact that I cannot get a schedule. It's literally, I have no work-life balance. I get called in on my days off, get called in on my holiday. I just can't control anything to do with my workplace. I have to work full-time. So, that's something else you need to consider. If you're going to do a higher education course, and you're going to do it from home, or you're going to go to college, you need to really make sure at least you've got some sort of job going on in the background. Me, I work full-time and I'm doing a full-time degree. 400 hours I've got to put in at least. So I have to learn. I speed type. I really do, literally done. But it does affect my work when I'm too tired to actually physically draw. And you will learn about how your emotions and your... how can I put it? Kind of how you as a person, how you affect your art when you're tired, when you're stressed, all of those things. So it's something just to take into consideration. But till next time, I wish you all the best, and please have a go at experimenting. So take care, and happy drawing to you all. Bye.